charge, yeah, you're talking to the man in charge. Simmer down, dog, you already know it's hard. I got 9,700 on the credit card, yeah, just to turn this piece of shit into a form.
Alright guys, so I got the KTM's wheels super clean. They haven't been this clean in a long time. But that's not what today's video is about at all. Episode 3 of the YZ250 build series. It has been a while since I have done a video on this thing. I haven't rode it that much. I've added a few things to it since the last. I'll quickly go over those with you, as well as some other stuff that I'm going to be putting on the bike, doing a little bit of maintenance. So in today's video, we're going to be putting on this new Steely flyweight. So in this video, we're going to be putting on this new Steely white. So in this video, we're going to be putting on this new Steely flywheel weight. I've got the 13 ounce. I was going to go with the 11, but I figured, you know, this is going to be an off-road woods bike anyway, so why not go full send? And this one was a little bit cheaper than the other. I've also got the lockup tool to make this process a little bit easier, hopefully, as well as some new clutch plates. I've been letting this soak in oil. I've had a lid on here, and this is clean oil. Ideally, I'm wanting to reuse this oil, but I might just buy another quart. It's only like 10 bucks anyway. So since the last videos, which I've put on this new plastic kit and made the bike look a little bit better with some protection, such as the frame guards. I recently added this new seat. My other stock seat had a rip right across here. The whole back end of the seat would like flip up. It was really weird, but I paid 70 bucks for this seat. It's got a nice seat cover on it. It's got some nice yellow stitching, as you can see there. This is what I'm going to be keeping most of my camera stuff in. Handlebar bag, I guess you can call it. Obviously, motocross pants ain't got pockets, so that's what I need that for. Put on these new grips. Also got this armadillo pipe guard. I mainly got it in case I come over a rock and a rock tries to punch this, or anything little. I don't think anything major will protect this, and it looks cool. But I'm going to go ahead and change the oil. Doing so, I'm going to have to take the bike off the stand, remove the skid plate, get that old oil out of there. That oil's been in there for at least 2 years that I've owned this bike. It's the first time that I've ever changed the oil on it. And yeah, let's get into it. Side of the case is a little bit up to temperature. I went ahead and drained the oil. We are ready to pop off this case. I've had these clutch plates soaking for a couple days now. I was wanting to reuse that oil. A new thing of oil is only like 10 bucks, so the shop is about to close and I need to hurry up and go get another quart of oil to pour back in this. So yeah, we're gonna make this quick. Alright, so a note to take is that the friction plate is sitting on the outside. Pop this friction plate off. There's a Steely behind it. We want to make sure we do the exact same pattern going back in as we did coming out. That's pretty much how I have them laid out in here, so that should be pretty straightforward. So first off, I realized that I forgot a Steely and a friction plate on the cover here, but I just put that back in. That's how it should look coming out. I've also got this little Steely here. And for the kit, I've got this OEM Yamaha clutch plate kit. I've got the option to put in these new springs here, but I may honestly put the springs back in from what I pulled out. I might. I'm not for sure. I'm going to open those up and look at them, but I really like the pull that the bike has right now. Start taking these off. Just going one at a time here, just to ensure the order that these are coming out. I think you understand the process. Okay, so a couple things. I've got all the plates out that you can see here. To make this process a little bit easier of pulling all these out, the way I found is if you rotate this to where you've got a little bit of a gap opening up here, enough to get your finger back there, as well as down here at the bottom, you can take your left hand and your right hand and basically reach back in here to pull those forward. Something that I noted is this last Steely here. You can tell it's a little bit burnt. Something that made me want to replace the clutches in this bike is that it had a little bit of a slip at the higher RPMs. It's something that it's always had. It's never gotten any worse. A note you can go ahead and take here is the grooves in the basket. They don't feel too bad. I don't know if you can even visually see those. It's nothing I'm gonna worry about right now. If I really wanted to, I think you can file those down. Don't take my word on that, but I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this new clutch kit in the exact way that it came out. Start with a friction plate. So these don't have a rotation. It does not matter which way you put these in. You know, it could be this way or this way. So like I said, I'm gonna try these new springs. These are the new ones here. They're factory OEM Yamaha springs. So I'm gonna dip them down into my oil, and then I'm gonna put them on here. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the flywheel on the other side. Let's get it. All right, so basically just pop your ignition cover off on your shifter side, and this is what you get. This is gonna be your OEM flywheel. This is how it looks. If yours looks at all different, it's obviously aftermarket. But this is all that comes in the kit. It's nicely packaged. There's a lot of foam covering everything. I really appreciate that. Also comes with some quality instructions. Really appreciate that and being able to read it. Basically just gonna have to take this nut off. I believe I'm gonna have to bend clutch arm right here. I'm gonna have to bend it backwards a little bit. And then I'm hoping 13-ounce weight. It's not too thick to where the factory ignition cover will still work. I know from what I've seen, 11-ounce works, but I haven't heard anything for sure on the 13, and I really hope I didn't screw up, so.
Supercharge. Oh God, good Lord. If you ain't rooting for me, tell me what you're good for. Supercharge.
One thing to note, make sure these set screws, there are 4 of them. Make sure they are not poking through whenever you screw the flywheel weight on. Obviously that's gonna keep it from screwing all the way on.
I don't see nobody rooting with signs. I got some plans, I'm an architect, now check the designs. Boy, when I land, I stick it. Yeah, the flow is the ticket. Yeah, the grind is meticulous, but the vibe is ubiquitous. What you doing, I'm living it. Not just on the internet, I'm handling business. Boy, who are you kidding with now? Supercharged, yeah, you're talking to them.
Okay, so I let the bike idle for like a minute and a half. 2 minutes max. Notice that my ignition cover was very, very hot. Thought I'd pop this cover off real quick. As far as the 13-ounce working or not, here's your answer. Also, very important note, do not forget the washer. This washer is a pain. It fits like perfectly in here, as you can see. The only tip I can kind of give you is try to walk it back and forth. This is actually what I used to walk it back and forth, and eventually we got there. I should let the flywheel weight sit all the way on there like it should. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to be using 10W40. Whatever's the cheapest that's nearest to O'Reilly's is what I went with.
2017, they had me rapping in a driveway. I was sitting crooked.
I can't say I've ever tried to repack an exhaust. You know what? We're just going to go for it. The main reason that I'm wanting to repack the exhaust is not so much for the noise, but I have heard that repacking your exhaust and keeping that fresh can actually aim out your power instead of giving it so much of a punch. It'll actually smooth out the power. We're gonna see if that makes a difference. I'm sure this bike hasn't had that done in a very long time, so
long shot, full court. If you ain't shooting for me, tell me what you're good for.
got the YZ exhaust all repacked. It was actually very, very easy. Big tip for whenever you're taking it off, I basically just hung on to the mid pipe and used a rubber mallet, pounded that off, came off really easy. Went back on just with lining it up back through the tailpipe, and went back on really easy. Yeah, can't complain. See if it sounds any different. Let's go. Okay, so my air filter has been drying for a little while. It seems to be pretty good. Air filter oil now. Gonna set my dry air filter down there. Just work my way around with the oil until it's nice and red. All right, sprayed down the outside of the air filter. It's ready to go back on. That pretty much wraps it up for all the maintenance on this bike. Chain and sprockets. You can tell the sprocket is a little worn, but It's got a little bit of life left in it. Chain and sprocket's gonna be fine while I'm riding on the road. As well as these tires, honestly, I'm just gonna wear them for the rest of the year. This is gonna be a wood setup bike, but I'm also gonna be having it street legal. And there's gonna be even more content on the YZ250 that you guys should be really excited for. I'm excited for it, as well as making some videos on how to wheelie a two-stroke. Let me know if that's something you guys want to see. Thank you guys for commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I absolutely appreciate that. Anyways, later guys. Peace.